this evening for Mindful Flow. We're going to take it a little bit slower tonight. This isn't going to be a real vigorous heat building flow, as I've kind of mentioned to everyone this week. As we're all well aware, the extreme heat has just kind of left all of us trying to stay rather calm and chilled. So I thought this would make a good theme for us to bring into practice this week. This winter, we may go the other direction and feel like building up some heat, but we're going to keep it pretty chill this evening. So to start off, we're actually going to begin in kind of a restorative posture, or at least a nice slow one. So what I have in mind is to come into what we call Stonehenge, which has 2 blocks at the front of the mat and a bolster. Now, if you do not own or have a bolster on hand, I know probably most everyone who's joining live may, but if you don't, you're watching this later and you don't have a bolster, that's okay. You can just take a rolled up blanket and make a blanket roll and bring that up and under your legs. Usually a blanket roll won't stay on top of the blocks like this. You could try it depending on how firm your blanket is, but more likely you're going to need a bolster if you put the support on top of the blocks. We're just going to bring our legs up and over and start off in a really slow, chilled manner. So set that up if you will, and we're going to use the blanket later on anyway, so if you don't already have one out or nearby the mat, make sure you do have a blanket on hand as well. So with that, let's go ahead and lay the body down and just allow both of your calves to lay gently on top of the bolster. And this way we kind of really bring the relaxation down and out of the hard-working feet and legs. We feel very connected to the mat below because the torso, from the base of the pelvis all the way up to the base of the head, feels very, very stable. And this is right off the bat. This is a very grounding and soothing position for the body. We talked a lot in earlier classes this week about stimulating the vagus nerve and how that relates to helping the body to regulate the nervous system, and allows us to kind of be able to come down, or what we might call down regulate, off of times when we are stressed. So when we have a reaction and the body turns to stress because it's maybe afraid or it's uncertain, your ability to come down off of that high heartbeat, fear-stopping moment, even if it's just something fairly innocuous, is part and parcel due to the tonality of the vagus nerve. So that's a long way of saying we're gonna work with stimulating and trying to tap into the tone of the vagus nerve this evening. And that is basically, just in a nutshell, it's running down the side of your neck, beginning from the base of your skull, running down under the jaw, down the neck, into the upper chest, and then leads all the way down into the intestinal group. So we're going to be opening and soothing the upper body, soothing the upper back, and that's just the direction we're going. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an entree as to where the practice was going this evening and why I've chosen the path that we're on. So with that said, I'll begin to let everything quiet down a little bit more here, and you in turn can just feel into your body. You can just feel what it's like to release and let go, and right at the beginning, just always take a minute to notice what's showing up. Notice your energy level, any strains or pains in the body that you need to be a little compassionate about tonight. And make sure that you do offer those areas loving kindness. Being kind and loving to ourselves is the first principle of yoga. Ahimsa, non-harming, begins with our own mind, body, and soul. So just take a few normal breaths here, nothing out of the ordinary right now. Just allow yourself to release down, get used to this new position, your orientation and your relationship to gravity. A little experiment with the breath. We did this earlier this week, and we're going to bring it back again tonight, which is known as a cooling breath, particularly useful when the body is very warm or you're feeling emotionally overheated or physically heated. So what we're going to do is construct your lips in the position as if you were bringing them around a straw, and then draw the breath in through the straw, the imaginary straw, and notice how that directed breath begins to feel very cool as it reaches the top and the roof of your mouth and then begins to roll down the throat. Now the second half of that respiration cycle is your release. And as you release the breath out, soften your mouth. Let the breath escape on its own as if you were in an inflated bed or something that was filled with air, and you're just letting the air escape, and feel the heat, the warmth of the exhale begin to exit your body. So in this way, begin to develop a little rhythm with the inhale, cooling breath through the straw, and then the mindful awareness of the warmth escaping gradually down on your exhale. Once you have that rhythm in place, we're going to continue that for about a minute or so. Awareness of the temperature begins to really bring a change to your physical body, your feeling of warmth or coolness. Just observe what changes this brings about. Let's take 5 more breaths together in this cooling breath, pranayama. In your cycle, let's take 1 more round of breath. And release. Very nice. Just come back to your normal breath now. Give yourself a moment just to drop into what feels natural and easy. Your right knee off of the support, whatever you have below, and draw the right knee toward your chest. You're not going to hug it in or pull it down. You're just going to draw that knee towards your chest and then extend and bring it back to where you had it on the support. And then inhale your left knee and gently draw it toward your chest, and then bring that left knee back and down. Right knee into the chest, drawing air in as you bring it forward, exhaling as you bring it down, and the left knee now, again. And I'd like you to do 3 more sets on each side, just the knee alone, some gentle movement for the body, just to wake it up, get into the rhythm. Connecting your mind and your body together. And 1 more time with the right and the left knee. And then hold it there as you bring that left knee down. Now we're going to bring the right knee up, and you're going to lift your left arm. Carry that left arm all the way up and behind you as you draw the right knee in. And then together, left arm and right leg come forward. Same thing with the other oppositional pair. Left knee and right arm comes up and over. And draw them back down. So now you've got the rhythm here. We're going to continue with the arm and the leg together. This is just some gentle somatic movement. Introducing the body to the fact that we are enjoying connecting body and mind together. It takes a little coordination to alternate the sides, so your brain is getting a little bit of stimulation as well. Let's do 1 more set together. Opposites, and the left and the right hand. There we go. Bring them back and down. All right, bring your feet off of the support. It may be possible to just lift your bolster up with your feet so you don't have to disturb your upper body. Just kind of slide it down. And I'd like you to turn to your left side. So you're going to be facing toward the camera probably. I'm going to be turning away, but I'm going to still reach back and talk to you here. We're going to come to our left side, and you're going to slide the support. Again, you can use your blanket if that's what you have on hand, or the bolster as well. And slide it between your knees and your ankles. So you've got some cushion there in between. Your left arm is going to reach out to the side, and your right arm is now going to open wide. So this is going to result in a twisted lower body, but with some gentle support between the the knees and the ankles. You're going to allow the upper chest to stay open. Your gaze is upward toward the ceiling. And we're going to take several breaths here as you just feel the expansion from hand to hand across the upper chest. And resist the urge to feel that maybe we're going pretty slow, that you're maybe not getting that big workout that most of us want to reach into and really get a sensation that we're doing something impressive. Just allow your body to open gently like a flower. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And last breath together. Good. Bring your arms back around and closer to your body. You can squeeze the bolster together between your legs and simply slide your hips up to the center and then over to the other side. So we're going to lay on the right side. So you're actually going to roll to the right side to start. So that the body is laying on the side. You squeeze that bolster or the support between your legs. And then take your left arm up and out. Your right arm stays open. And once again, roll back toward that left shoulder so your chest is opening to the sky, but your hips are staying in the side twist. We're going to take 5 or 6 breaths here, just getting a little equal opportunity for both sides of the spine and the internal organs to be stimulated by this gentle, sweet twist. Again, just allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to chill out. It's been hot. It's been aggressively hot outside, so we're going to counter that with as much cooling effect as we can. Take 3 more breaths here. Squeeze your legs together, lift up with the bolster between, scoot your hips back to the center. Now you can take that bolster out from in between. You can just press it off to the side. Bring your feet about hip distance apart, your hands on either side of your hips, and press down with all 4 corners of your feet. Take a little pelvic tilt, and now inhale, rolling the pubic bone up and feeling the tailbone lift up and curl toward the sky. And then exhale, roll down to the very tip of the tailbone. So you're just tilting the coccyx, the tailbone, straight down. And then inhale, tilt it up. This is what we call the posterior tilt. And then exhale, tilt it the other way, taking what we call the anterior tilt. So the posterior tilt, keep this going with your breath. The hip points are pressing back, pubic bone comes forward. As you take the posterior, the hip points come forward, the tailbone points back. So keep that going, 3 more pelvic tilts with your breath. Beautiful. And then come back to neutral. Go ahead and roll to your side. Take just one moment on your side just to reorient your inner gyroscope, and then press down with your top hand, whichever one that might be. Lift all the way up, and let's all come together in tabletop position on our hands and knees. All right, a nice slow start to our practice. That's where we're headed tonight, keeping it nice and chilled. We're going to move a little bit more than that, I promise, but it's a nice way to begin. So come into your tabletop position, fingers pressing forward. Lift the navel up, and then we're going to begin with some spinal movement, dropping the chest down, but initiating that pelvic tilt again, lifting the hip bones, the sits bones up to the ceiling, and feeling the whole front of the body opening up all the way to underneath the chin. Pause here for a moment. We're just going to let the body hang. We're going to feel the spaciousness from the pubic bone all the way up to the underside of the chin, the mandible. Let the weight of your spine drop down, and the organs will simply provide a bed for the spine. And then we're going to take it the other way. So first, start the tilt with the pelvis, drawing the pubic bone in, feeling the lift in the sacrolumbar area. Roll it up to the very top of the upper back, and then let your head drop forward, releasing any weight in the head. Now pausing in this variation, we're going to open the shoulder blades wide and feel almost as if the back of the heart wants to leap out of the chest and press up to the sky. Widen those ribs, open them. This time the inner organs, instead of dropping down, they're pressing up. The abdominals are holding them strong, lifting and reaching. Take one more breath here. And then tilt the pelvis, come back to your cow tilt. Now we're going to include some motion. So moving from each of those positions to the other seamlessly. Initiating each change of transition with the pelvic tilt, and then rolling the spine up, letting the head come involved last. So see how fluid you can make the spinal motion flowing. You might even feel like you're a wave in the ocean, undulating. This time we're not creating any pauses in between, but we're like water. We're just flowing from one to the other. Your breath inhales as you take the back bend, and it exhales as you arch up. Let's do 3 more rounds, 3 more positions each way. Last time through. And then come back to a neutral spine. From here, we're going to come down to the elbows and the forearms. Just pressing down through the forearms, lift your navel up towards your spine. We're just going to hold this in a forearm tabletop position. So widen your shoulder blades here. Press down through your hands. If this isn't comfortable for your hands, you can always make your hands into a fist and bring it to the side of the hand. So there's 2 variations here for any kind of forearm work. You can make those fists, or the hands can be open and down. And you can try it a little bit each way. Find out which way supports you the most. Very nice. And then go ahead and press all the way back. Come back to an extended child position. Let your arms reach forward. And this time actively take the lower back and stretch the tailbone down toward the floor. Really curving the tailbone down and pulling it into the groin. So this is flattening out that natural curve, the natural curve of the tailbone, and sometimes that makes you feel like you have a nice little stretch in the low back. Breathe into the open area of your back, all the way up and down the spine. Breath is flowing freely here. Take one more long breath. Exhale. Inhale and come forward again. We're going to widen the knees, wider than the hips, and bring your big toes into the center to touch. Threading the needle, this is one we do all the time. We're going to lift the right arm up, reach the right arm, really open up under the shoulder, under the armpit, and then allow the right arm to come down to the floor. Slide it under the left arm, and then let your right shoulder drop down and turn your head to the left. If for any reason this is difficult or challenging to let the body come all the way down to the mat, please fold a blanket, or you can always place a block for support. The blanket is a little bit and a little bit more softness and support, so that might be the better option. I want that shoulder to actually touch down someplace so that you can release the weight of the body. Taking your left arm, reach it up, and maybe take your left hand to the small of your back. And lay the back of your left hand on the small of your back. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then your left hand is going to come back down to the mat. Start off in all fours position once again. Keep those knees wide. Knees are in the same position. Left arm is going to float up to the ceiling. Let's hold it there just for a half a beat and feel the ribs open up. Stretch under the armpits. And then bring it down and underneath. Slide it under the right arm and slowly lower yourself down. The mat is going to touch down just behind the left ear. And then come back to a slow, mindful breath. If you like, this is always an option. Reach your right arm out and up. Maybe bend the elbow and place the back of the right hand on the small of your back. If you have any shoulder restrictions or anything that's happening that makes that uncomfortable, by all means, bring the arm to a place where you feel at ease. More breaths. And then bring the right hand back down, all the way back up to the mat. Bring your knees underneath the body and come down to your belly. If you have your bolster or your rolled up blanket, bring that back into the game. So we're going to bring our upper chest down so that the bolster or the rolled blanket is touching and pressing into the lower rib cage. Your sternum, your breastbone is still free and open at the front, but you just feel some support in the lower part of the rib cage. If you have a really big bolster, it might almost feel like too much. So maybe a rolled up blanket might even be a better, but if it feels good to you, that's fine. Just offering you that as an option. I have two sizes of bolsters, so I have the ability to kind of choose which one I want. This is my smaller one. Sometimes that bigger one is almost too much for me. We're going to bring the hands to Sphinx position, so bring the arms forward. And with this support in place, you'll notice you don't have to work terribly hard to keep the body upright. Normally, there's some pressure where we have to really press down into those hands, but the bolster kind of gives us that little extra lift, that little extra assist. And so that's fine. Allow yourself to feel and use that assist. But at the same time, engage your upper back muscles, the ones that are on either side of the shoulder blades, from the waistband all the way up, and use those muscles to lift up through the chest. Gaze 2 or 3 feet in front of your mat. Your neck is very, very much at ease. If for any reason, again, if you have neck difficulty, neck pain, any sort of degeneration in the neck, it may feel good to take your block on the tallest side and just let your forehead rest down on the mat, on the block. This does not take away from the opening in the upper chest. It simply allows you to take the pressure off of those tiny cervical vertebrae. So now in the Sphinx position, do me a favor and relax your glutes. And then let the upper body, the upper back, do the majority of the work here. If we were in a totally active position with regard to this posture that without the support, then we'd be recruiting a little bit more energy from the core body. But we can afford to kind of let that relax since the bolster is giving us the assist. Imagine the spaciousness underneath the chin, deep into the glands under each ear. Feel the breath flowing freely. Do keep holding upright with those upper back muscles. Mindful awareness of where we are targeting the openness, where we are targeting the energy flow this evening. More breaths here. And then you can begin to slide your hands back up and over the bolster. Press yourself up. Remove whatever support you were using. Get that off of your mat and come back to hands and knees position. feel the need to kind of stretch or move it out, feel free to take a couple of cat-cows here if you want to stretch and kind of release anything that feels like it needs to have a counter stretch, and then come back to tabletop position. We're going to curl the toes and lift those knees up. I bet you thought we'd never get to downward facing dog. Well, I've got a couple of them this evening, so come into downward facing dog, but keep your knees soft. We've done virtually nothing to warm up those hamstrings, so let's just keep the legs nice and easy, soft knees, but a nice expansive feeling in the upper chest. Lift up the navel, a nice straight flat back all the way down, up and down the spine. Take one more breath. And then we're going to bring the right foot all the way forward. So you can either swing it up there or take a helping hand. Bring the right foot forward, and hands are going to come to your blocks. Then we're going to let the left knee descend down. So if your hip flexors are a little bit stiff, let's just take a moment, kind of ease into Anjaneyasana. You can keep your hands on the blocks. Remember, they can come up to the tall side as well if that gives you a little bit more support. And then when you're ready, let go of the blocks. Lift your arms up and overhead. Reach up into the sky and then bring your hands to goddess arm position. Bent elbows at 90 degrees. Hands up. Perhaps bring those arms just a little bit behind the body. Lift your chin. Again, expansiveness from collarbone to collarbone. Feel your breath flowing here. Beautiful back bending posture. And then take your right hand down, place the back of the right hand on your low back, and direct your left elbow to your right thigh. So you can feel that elbow just on the outside of your right thigh. Then take your right hand back, create prayer hands together. We're not going to try to overly twist here. We're just turning the rib cage slightly to the right side. Beautiful. Come back to the center, hands back down on the blocks. Lift the left knee back up and step the left foot forward. Let's come to our forward fold, Uttanasana. Again, soft knees. So let's use those blocks. Make sure that the hands have a support. And then slowly let's rise up. Walk the hands up the body if you like, or bring them out to the side. Reach up and overhead. Let's get a full body stretch in here. Fingertips all the way down to our rooted feet. Nice deep breath in, Urdhva Hastasana. Celebrate how you feel, what you're doing for the body, and then flow back down to forward fold. Let's lift back up one more time. Arms reach up, so flowing back up. Exhale, this time bring your hands down by your side. Turn your neck as if it's on a turntable to the right shoulder. Turn your chin to reach your right shoulder. And then draw a half circle across the front of the chest. All the way up, and then lift the chin to face the left shoulder. Now take that the same chin, of course it's the same chin, take the chin, and we're going to draw a diagonal line so that you're gazing to the upper right. And then bring the chin back down to center. Let's just take that the other way. Turn your head so that your chin is facing or reaching towards your left shoulder. As you exhale, drop the chin down, draw a half circle across your collarbones. Inhale and bring the chin to the right. And then from that right shoulder, draw a diagonal line up and to the left so that you're gazing up at the upper left corner. Bring your chin back to center. Inhale, both arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Let's step back this time with the left foot. Come directly into the lunge position. And then slowly let that right knee descend down. Taking it slow again here, since we haven't really emphasized much on the hips today, so we want to just give them a chance to reorient, wake them up slowly. When you're ready, you can let go of your blocks, lift your arms up. First, bringing them overhead, getting a beautiful stretch all the way up the sides of the body and through the ribs. And then take the hands back to goddess position. Really let your spirit fly. Open your upper body. Tilt your chin slightly up. Maybe bring those wings a little bit behind the body so you're really expanding into the chest. How's the breath? Is it flowing freely? Is your throat open? And then take the left hand, place it on the small of your back, and then guide your right elbow down towards your left thigh, either on top or maybe even slightly reaching toward the outside. Then take your left hand, bring those hands to prayer hands, and just enjoy this twist in the upper back. Breathe. One more breath. Now, this is a little hard to hold. One more. And then bring it back to center, hands back down on the blocks. Lift the right leg up, and this time instead of going up, we're going to slide the left leg back to downward facing dog. Again, keep the knees soft, but let your hips rise up, navel reaching up, feeling the strength and the length of your back from the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Don't let that chest sag down. You want to keep your ears between your arms. One more breath. And then come forward to a plank position. We're going to hold this for just a moment. Just sneaking in a little extra core work here. I like to get a little sneaky when you're not expecting it. It's not good for us. A little core a day is definitely good for all of us. Keep pressing the earth away. And then anytime you're ready, bring down one knee and then the other. Press back to an extended child's position. Relax and release. Take a full breath in. Release it out. Come back up to hands and knees, and I have one more upper body stretch for us tonight. So starting off in tabletop, we're going to go into melting heart position. So let's take the left elbow down underneath the left shoulder. Forearm is facing or reaching to the right. Fingers are down. And then you're going to take that right hand and reach the right fingers forward, as far forward as you can. Really pull yourself with the right fingers, and then eventually let your forehead come down to your left arm. So when you can constructed this position, the idea is to let go through the chest and let the weight of the heart be melted down to Mother Earth. Really get in touch with that deep physical connection between your beating heart and the earth below. Stay here for a few breaths. Slide your right hand back. Come back up to all fours position. We're going to take the right elbow down, starting on the other side. Right elbow is supported under the right shoulder. Left hand reaches forward. It's really important that you pull yourself forward as much as you can. Not creating any pain or strain, of course, but just really feeling into the extension so you get the maximum benefit. Once you bring your forehead down, let the weight of your heart and your upper chest be drawn down to the earth. Just mindfully breathe here for the next minute or so. Slide your left hand back, come all the way up, swing your legs around, come back to your seat. Ooh. How are you feeling? This was a real upper body, open-hearted, upper chest opener. I hope you can feel the benefits from that, and it feels good. But we're going to take it down the other way as we prepare for the last part of our practice. So let's lay down on our back once again. This time we're just going to bring the back straight down on the mat. Done plenty of back bends for this evening, so we're just going to let the back rest. Open your arms wide and go ahead and slide your feet out to the width of your mat. And then just bring some really gentle motion with your knees, windshield wipering back and forth. But don't try to bring them all the way down. Stop a little bit short of as far down as they will go. Just take it nice and gently, just giving the joints a little attention and lubrication here. We need to strain or invite in undue use, just back and forth. sensation on the pelvis as well, a little stimulation into the sacral joint. Do you feel that? The weight and the slight movement of the pelvis, the rocking from back to forth, side to side. Back to center. Bring your feet together. Let your feet extend all the way down the mat. Just grab this if I can adjust my volume. Lay all the way down, extend your legs. And if you like, you can bring in any kind of support that feels beneficial for your Shavasana. You want to bring that blanket roll back or the bolster underneath the knees. Cover up with a blanket or use an eye bag. Always take the time to give yourself the full experience in Shavasana. These are sacred moments. Sacred space. So allow yourself to give the gift of rest and tranquility to your body. It'll serve not just the body, but truly the mind and the spirit as well. into the fullness of your body. Release it back out again. Let's do that again, another full breath. Begin to reposition your legs. Perhaps draw them in and toward the chest. You may want to roll to one side momentarily. Allow the body to reorient before you come all the way back up. Where we will join in together, saying a prayer of gratefulness for this practice, for all the many blessings we have today. Inhaling, exhaling, bringing awareness to the heart center and its connection to mind, body, and spirit. The light in me is honored and grateful for the light within you all. Thank you so much for practicing. Om Shanti and Namaste.